This is my career. This is my Task A career exploration project, where I'll be discussing the results of my personality test in comparison to my chosen career. Before I proceed, I would like to first introduce myself. My name is Cyrus Sydney Stewart, and I'm currently studying at Senegal Polytechnic Yunnan campus as a first-year business student. As someone who values balance between work and social life, I have a strong pursuit for financial independence by pursuing a career in real estate and insurance. In my own time, I like to hang out with my friends, to collect Polaroid pictures, or building Legos. More description about me: I'm pretty extrovert around the people who I share interests with. My ability to be empathetic is what helped me maintain relationships, whether it be at home, school, or work. My soft skills, yet significant in being organized, consistent, and attention to details, are skills that have helped me overcome challenges. Career preferences. I enjoy working with people where there's room for interpersonal and career growth, while being financially stable and flexible between work and social life. As I've mentioned before, I believe that pursuing a career in real estate and insurance is my best chance. Additionally, I'm also attracted towards organizations where inclusivity and mental health is valued. It is normal to feel it is normal to feel lost or unsure of yourself when you've entered a new chapter of your life, where you feel you have to make a decision and stick to it for the rest of your life. To have a better understanding of myself and whether my present self-perception and career preferences match, I took 7 personality tests and briefly analyzed the results in the following slides. For more details, the underlined headings has an embedded link that will take you to the results page, as well as a separate document attached to this assignment. The results from the 16 personalities match my strengths in being organized, reliable, and empathetic. However, one of the weaknesses that surprised me but made sense was resistance to change. My organization skills is based on structure of habits that I've developed over time. Another weakness, another weakness that that I would like to address is my ability to speak up, mainly in front of large groups of people within environments like classrooms or podiums. Despite these terms being my weaknesses, I can also approach it as an opportunity for improvement, since growth can often mean stepping outside of my comfort zone. Now, focusing more on my work personality, where I'm positioned within an organization, the career test from Job Bank Canada highlighted that I excel through the means of being methodical by following rules and methods that I've been trained upon, socialness rooted by my cooperation and communication with my coworkers. However, it's suggested that I am innovative, which I believe is not true. Developing new solutions for new problems and experimenting is not one of my strengths. I prefer consistency by sticking with presence and method ways of countering predicaments. Global Leadership Foundation results show that I am emotionally intelligent and that my capabilities within a workplace can involve technical skills, which are specific tasks that involves accounting or numeracy. Emotional capabilities on top of my social skills and being able to empathize. It is true that I do have some self-motivation that drives me towards my daily goals. For example, the commute time that I take to go to school don't necessarily have a direct impact or correlation to achieving my career goals, but it does, however, help me to endure the challenges that comes with being a college student, which ultimately shapes me into the best version I could be. The previous slides mentioned that I'm intellectually and technically capable. However, the results from OFA's career aptitude test that examines my ability to understand numeric patterns showed that I'm able to only complete 60% of the questions. I definitely don't see myself as intellectually capable, since then again, I am not innovative. I see myself more on the technical side. I did emphasize my strengths in numeracy, but only to a certain level. As you can see, I started to get confused by the numeric patterns in question 4 and 5. Similar to Jobs Bank Canada, the results from the Big Five personality test presented that the results in a similar that the result in a similar structure with a graph and a brief description explaining each measurement. Focusing on the consistent conscious consciousness focusing on the consciousness measures a personality type for people who pay special attention to detail, goal-oriented, organized, reliable, and disciplined. Discipline are what seems to be the strengths and results from their repeats jobs from job banks Canada. Moreover, my lowest assessment is my openness with a score of 44, which again compares with the results from 16 personalities that describes my ability to adapt to new things due to adherence to structure. A simpler test from Personality Type Indicator summarized me in 4 words: extroverted, sensing, feeling, and judging. It stated that I'm naturally friendly, open and outgoing, but commenting on the part where it says that I'm open for communicating my thoughts, feelings, and opinions, this is particularly not true. I've observed myself in the past and I've noticed that I do tend to come up with my own solutions to harness credits and self-validation. And I think this is why I often find it difficult to take in criticism. Last but not least, the culture factor. It wasn't really a test, it's more of a website that shows a broad characteristic of a particular ethnic group. So in this case, it's not really focused towards me. With a score of 94 in power distance, people in the Philippines accept hierarchical order. To me, this is something that is subjective, as it does not apply to all Filipinos. It is likely due to the difference in financial position, education, talents, or where they currently live. Second to power distance is a second to power distance is a score of 64 to work towards an achievement and success. I think it's very common for countries like the Philippines and other countries in Asia where the following generation are influenced to work harder, to go beyond what is expected of them, so that they can have a bright future and potentially stray away from the hierarchical and pave their own lifestyle. To me, this is really important because growing up in the Philippines made me realize that even with thorough education and support from my parents, it is not enough to meet ends with my own terms of success, which is to be independent and capable of looking out for myself and others. To briefly put all 7 personality tests, I noticed a repeating pattern between 16 personalities, Jobs Bank Canada, and the Big Five personality test, emphasizing my strengths in emphasizing my traits in being methodical and strong adherence to structure and organization, as well as my ability to be empathetic to take relationships on the next level. As I've said in the beginning of this presentation, that these traits are the closest to me and have helped me counter a variety of my challenges. The test shows that my weaknesses are difficulty in speaking up and responsibilities or positions in leadership, as mentioned from 16 personalities. Global Leadership Global Leadership Foundation, somewhat aligned with my traits. I'm mostly aligned with emotional capabilities, a little bit on the technical skills, but not intellectual. My trait in organization is one of the things that have helped me develop independence, and I think it is also another that gets me to believe that I can be reliable to work with. Despite being empathetic, 16 personalities results stated that I'm always prepared to put the needs of others before my own. This is not always true, and if it only applies to people that are close to me, like my friends or family. But I always make sure that my needs are met first because you can't be much of a help if you're in a vulnerable situation. Self-care is equally important as caring for others. This is a more visualized look or summary. I use the SWOT matrix to visualize my strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. As I've said, my strength lies in being organized and socially extroverted. However, these values can only take me so far as getting along with my peers, colleagues, and not enough as a leader, since I do find it difficult to project my voice. Weaknesses are dynamic. Sometimes weaknesses can be situational or temporary, and by learning from them, they can be approached as an opportunity to improve. For example, as a student right now, I find it a little difficulty or challenging to present in front of class, but knowing one day that I'll be working in a field where I'll be a real estate agent handling clients, I realized that there's plenty of room for opportunities to improve, offered by Seneca through workshops, networking events, and webinars. It's not just in school, but also through internships. With this information, it can help me advance in my chosen career. The connection between my weaknesses and opportunities, my strengths and threats are somewhat relevant. Although being organized is mostly a pro's value, being adhered to certain plans or processes can make it difficult for me and others to adapt to change. Not everyone has the same levels or terms of organization, and therefore people will be working at different paces. I took the time to answer the questions from the personality test to make sure that the result is accurate as possible. Not only did it realize me with my current strengths and threats, but it also gave me a whole new perspective of my weaknesses, as well as how I can turn it into an opportunity for improvement, such as my weaknesses in innovation and intellectual could be something I can work with, so I can open more career options. Using the SWOT matrix analysis is essential to determine if my current personality traits and skills align with my career preferences, as well as what I can do for a greater match. An example of this is the critical importance of excellent communication skills with home buyers or potential clients. Improving my communication skills will not only directly influence my judgments as a real estate agent in the future, but it could also lead me to a position in business marketing. Focusing more on my work life, I currently work as a barista and cashier at a cafe. I've been working there for 2 years since the spring of grade 11 in high school. The cafe I work for is small and dynamic, and so every staff member is guided and trained towards the highest standards. Under strict management not only made me realize the importance of balancing work, school, and social life, but it also reinforced my skills in organization, time management, and customer service while thriving under pressure. Before I developed a passion for real estate, I've shown interest working as a chef, baker, information technology, and architect. In common, what I didn't like about those careers is that they're all salary based, meaning how hard you work don't always align with how much you earn. This makes you prone to being exploited for your skills and experiences, and you end up with responsibilities that exceeds your wage. Secondly, working for those industries often requires extensive education that could take up to 4 years, multiple certifications, and can be very expensive. That is when I found Remax. Remax is a widely known real estate company in Canada with excellent brand recognition across the world. A career in real estate means that your daily life is dynamic, not tied to a desk. How much you earn is not limited by a salary cap, and the smarter you work, the harder you work, and the more you make, which is the general aspect that attracted me, because I believe in fair labor compensation. You're trained by Remax professionals with years of experiences to navigate the competitive landscape of real estate and will help you take your career on the next level. Aside from the external benefits, you also get a good feeling of fulfillment and satisfaction from knowing that your work is critical to a client who are potentially buying or selling their first homes. Researching the company I want to work for is important to see if the type of work is what best suits my traits and aligns with my career preferences. I also want to know more about the current and previous agents at Remax to assess how they see their work versus how the company sees themselves and what they do and what they have to offer. The reviews from Glassdoor shows that working at Remax means you will be surrounded by committed professionals to provide the best possible real estate experience, with plenty of resources to kickstart your career. As I've previously mentioned, the concept of being a real estate agent is that it is not a salary-based career. Simple explanation, if you don't sell a property, you don't make any money. And so depending on where you're approaching real estate from, it will vary. The challenges you face will vary. For example, a student like me who currently is concerned about getting familiar with the market, then having a consistent income from working as a part-time agent. What I'm trying to say is just like any career you choose, Real estate is one of many that will also require a high level of commitment to make sure you have so make sure you have another job to support you. As always, getting started is always the most difficult part. Interviewing a professional from real estate industry is extremely important. It is critical to ask questions that will give me valuable insights that will help me transition from the student life to a realtor. These are the 5 questions that I would ask in a career Q&A. I will briefly over some that are most relevant to me. First question is, what was your career or position before you discovered or became a real estate agent? A lot of people think that the top 1% of agents today came out of a university institution with a bachelor's in economics. While having a degree under your name is supplementary to your portfolio, it is not necessary. To become a real estate agent, you only typically need to meet the age requirement and pass the real estate training course with RECO, which can take up to 9 to 12 months. But of course, to be successful is a whole another answer. Second question, what are the financial struggles of becoming a real estate agent and how did you tackle them? Going back to the topic of how you will sustain your financial position in your early years of real estate, it is really important to be advised on what I can budget as a student. For example, managing the cost between paying off my OSAP loan, gas, phone bill, groceries, rent, or monthly insurance. So before enrolling to a real estate program, make sure you have enough savings to counter the cost. Remax is a real estate company that was founded in 1973 by David Linger and Gail Main in Denver, Colorado. Briefly going over the company's purpose, Remax aims to deliver the best real estate experience to its stakeholders, whether to ensure that their agents thrive or for clients to buy their first home that best fits their lifestyle. Remax is not limited to Canada. With excellent brand recognition around the world, it aims to become the global real estate leader. Learn as you earn, and you will also grow with the organization. To achieve those goals, the company comprises professionals to ensure constant growth and that the agent receives contributing education to thrive under positive environments. Through the lens of organizational behavior concept, Remax has remarkable traits in leadership and motivation and career commitment. They inspire to make sure their agents achieve their highest potential, which in turn they feel empowered and committed to their team under a healthy working environment. Everyone starts their career at different levels. That's why they have mentorship programs to make sure you're in the right lane of success, as well as a number of employees benefits that range from annual bonuses to retirement plans to show how much they value you. As we wrap up this presentation, it's important to keep in mind that growth is subjective. There is no age or amount of money that could measure it. At the end of the day, your real opponent is yourself. Comparing yourself to others undermines your self-esteem. Take the time to get to know yourself, familiarize what you're capable of, and don't just stick to one plan for the rest of your life.